Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswati Namaha, Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram Manojavam Marudhatulya Begam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayuta Mukhyam Sriramadutam Sirasa Namami Santoshini Jaganmata Mama Saubhagyavriddhaye Namaskaromi Bhaktya Tvam Prasanna Varada Bhava Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kridau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaigamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashandaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Satchitananda Rupaya Vishwotpattyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Nilambujasyamalakomalangam Sita Samarupita Vamabhagam Panau Mahasayaka Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvam Shanatham Krishno Rakshatu Mam Charachara Guru Krishnam Namasye Sada Krishne Naiva Surakshito Hamasakrit Krishnaya Dattam Manaha Krishna Deva Samudbhavo Mama Vibho Krishnasya Dasosmiham Krishne Bhakti Rajanjalastu Bhagavan He Krishna Tubhyam Namaha He Krishna Tubhyam Namaha. The first three dasakams of Narayaneeyam is the summary of book 1, that is Skanda, Prathama Skanda of Bhagavatam. Prathama Skanda is titled as Adhikari. So in the Prathama Skanda Bhagavatam, to indicate who is the Adhikari, Adhikari means qualified student to study Bhagavatam, the Bhagavatacharya, that is Vyasa Bhagavan, has given the story of Parikshit. But here Bhattadri consider he himself is but Parikshit, because Parikshit is also was in Sankatam. Bhattadri is also in the Sankatam. So therefore he compares himself as Parikshit. And that is how, so the Adhikari, so up to third dasakam, it is book 1. Okay, now so far we have done, after describing the greatness of Lord of Guruvayur and establishing his identity with the Supreme Consciousness, the first dasakam, and describing the form of the Lord and the greatness of devotion is the second dasakam. Now, the third one, he is going to describe the true mark, the characteristic of a true devotee. Now, that is what is going to happen in this dasakam. Let us see.
पठन्तो नामानि प्रमदभरसिन्धौ निपतिताः स्मरन्तो रूपं ते वरद कथयन्तो गुणकथाः चरन्तो ये भक्ताः त्वयि खलु रमन्ते परममून् अहं धन्यान् मन्ये समधिगत सर्वाभिलषितान्.
Hey Varada. Varada means one who fulfill all desires of his devotees. Varada. Aham manye. I consider. What is that you consider? Dhanyan param amun bhaktaha ye. Ye bhaktaha dhanyan. Those devotees are blessed indeed. Who are those devotees who are blessed indeed? Now he says, Patantaha te namani. Te namani patantaha. Chanting your name. Now, in order to come to Bhagavat Nama Sankirtanam, Bhagavan Nama, chanting Bhagavan's name itself, you should have some purity of mind. Otherwise, you will not be able to chant Bhagavan's name. So those people who are blessed indeed, and if you look at the story of all the saints and sages, Mahatmas like Tulsidas ji, the what do you call Tukaram Maharaj, and our my Mirabai, and then our what do you call that? Anyway, so all these Mahatma story, if you look at it, Guru Sahib, so Guru Nanak, Guru Nanak ji completely, he was Namasmaranam only. He was completely immersed in Namasmaranam. And one day he was chanting Bhagavan's name, and it went in the midnight. Still, he was not sleeping. The mother was concerned because he was a child. At that time, she was concerned, Beta, don't you want to sleep? Why are you keep on chanting Bhagavan's name? Go to sleep. And he said, do you see that koil singing? Koil is calling for his beloved. And until that beloved is seen in the morning, the sunrise, he will not stop calling her. The same way, until I see my beloved, I will not stop chanting the Lord's name. That was the intensity. So that type of intensity comes only when your mind becomes pure. So that is why Patanjali says those people are blessed. Smarantaha te rupam, meditating on your charming form. That is also, you have to have a rasam taste for it. Unless you develop a taste for it, it will not come to you. Kathayantaha te gunakathaha. Again, relating to your meritorious stories. Parasparam kathayantaha. So whenever you see a bhakta, he will always relate to Bhagavad Katha only. He will remember Bhagavad Katha, that particular scene or particular character in that story, that is what he remembered. And their love, their devotion, their sacrifice, whatever quality they carried, that alone he remembers. So, Nipatitaha Pramatha Bhara Sindhau. And they have submerged into the ocean of infinite bliss. Pramada Bhara Sindhau, ocean of that infinite bliss. Charandaha Kalu Ramante Toi, and are roaming about freely, taking delight in you. Samathigada Sarvabhilashitan, with all their desires fulfilled, such devotees who chant your name, remember your form, talk about your glories and sports, such people reveling in the bliss of consciousness or your beauty or your devotion. The devotion itself is the bliss. And such people, their all desires are as though fulfilled. Now, why does the Bhattadri praise the devotees of the Lord? It would indeed be ideal for him to follow their activities in word and deed, but afflicted physically and therefore mentally too. He finds himself incapable of coping with this ailment, and hence he is apologetic of his own deficiency. That is why he is praising those people who are lucky, who are blessed. And I am not able to do that because of my ailment. So this is what he is meaning by that. Therefore, he implores the Lord to have pity on him. Continuing.
Gadakklishtam kashtam tava charana sevarasa bhare api anasaktam chittam bhavati vata vishno kurudayam bhavatpadam bhojas smarana rasiko namani vahan aham gayam kuhachana vivaksyami vijane.
Me chittam gadaklishtam. Api charana sevara sabhare tava. My mind is afflicted, tormented by many afflictions, sorrow. Because Vata Rogam is not just paralyzed only. It gives you pain also. Bone pain, that is the most severe thing. So when your mind is totally occupied with your pain, you will not be able to think of Bhagavan or sing his glory. So that is why it says, Me chittam gadaklishtam bhavati anasaktam. It is not easily fixed. Even when engaged in the service at your feet, even though I am singing your glory, I want to praise you, but because of my condition, I am not able to fix my mind upon you completely, 100%. That we can also see, when we are worried about so many things, at that time, if you are doing puja, it will become mechanical, isn't it? So, even if you are chanting Lada Sahasranamam or Vishnu Sahasranamam, how much of our mind is there in that? So, all over the world, the mind will travel. So, here, think about Bhattadri's condition. He is suffering, and that is why he says, even though I am Charana Seva Rasa Bhare Tava Api, even when engaged in service at your feet, Vada kashtam, what a misfortune. Hey Vishnu, Dayam Kuru. O all-pervading Lord, show mercy on me. So then, in the event of your bestowing grace upon me, aham vivatsyami kuhachana vichane, I shall retreat to some lonely place. Bhavat padambojas marana resikaha. So he says, if you make me healthy, what I will do? The health is, he is not requesting health for pleasure. He is requesting health for worshipping Bhagavan. That is the beauty here. So, in the event of your blessing me with good health, what I will do? I will retreat to some Vijana Pradesham and taking delight in meditating on your lotus feet. Bhavat padambojas marana rasikaha gayam nama nivahan, and singing repeatedly your countless name. This is what I am going to do. So it is said, Isharanugraha deva bhaktir bhavati keshave. Devotion to Lord Keshava develops only if there is divine grace. So the very fact that he is suffering because of that, and that is why after completing Narayaneeyam, Bhattadri, he became completely recovered from his illness, and he wanted to thank. So he thought thanking whom? Guru Ayappan, or to thank the Eഴുത്തച്ഛൻ who advised him, or thank his guru who taught him. But finally he said, I thank my Vadarogam. Vadarogam. Because of that pain and suffering only, I got the intensity of devotion. So that is what he means. Now continuing.
कृपाते जाता चेत् किमिव नहि लभ्यं तनुभृतां मदीय क्लेशौघ प्रशमन दशानाम कियति न के लोकेऽस्मिन् अनिशमयि शोकाभिरहिताः भवद्भक्ता मुक्ताः सुखगतिमसक्ता विदधते.
Aichet te kripa jata. O Lord, if your grace is bestowed on me, kim ivahi na labhyam tanubhrita. What is it that is not attainable by living beings? Kiyati nama. How insignificant it is for you. Madiya kleshauka prashamana dasha. He says, to eradicate my numerous elements for Bhagavan, for you, it is a very simple thing. It is not a great effort for you. Just one look or one sankalpa, that is enough. Or even smile, one smile, that is enough to remove all my ailment. Ke bhavat bhaktaha asmin loke. Who all among your devotees in this world, are they not devotees in this world? Attain the state of perpetual bliss with your blessings. Na vidatte sugagatim shokhabirahitaha anisham. Relieved of their sorrows forever. So many devotees of yours, there are innumerable devotees of yours. irrespective of gender, caste, creed, or religion, man, bird, or beast. There is nothing that cannot be achieved. If only your divine grace is given, bestowed upon them. Muktaha asaktaha, liberated, free from all attachments. So with your grace, nothing is impossible. So how is it that you are not blessing me? Now, continuing.
Muni praudharudhaha jagati khalu gudhatmagatayo bhavatpadambhoja smarana virujo narada mukhaha charanti shasvairam satata parinirbhata parachita sadanandadvaita prasara parimagna kimaparam.
Hey Isha, O Lord, one who fulfills the desire of devotees. Rudha muni praudhaha jagati. Very well known and celebrated sages in the world. Narada mukhaha, among whom sage Narada is the foremost. Among the well-known and celebrated sages in the world, Narada is well-known. Gudhatmagataya, who have spiritual attainment unknown to others. Bhavat padamboja smarana virujaha. And their sorrows having been destroyed by contemplating on your lotus feet. So he is quoting example that among all the saints, the foremost of all saints, the celestial saint is Narada, who has spiritual attainment unknown to others and who has completely removed all his sorrows by remembering you. So in Bhagavata, in the first canto, there is a story of Narada. He himself narrated his own story to Vyasa Bhagavan. That is what is remembered here. He is referring to that. See, Narada says he was born to a ordinary woman who was serving in a family, servant lady. Narada was born to a servant lady. But the Mahatmas used to come and stay in that house, spending Chadurmasyam. And this boy used to serve these Mahatmas. And this Mahatmas became very fond of this boy and gave him Mandropadesha. And he used to take the remnants of Mahatmas Prasada, he used to take from them. And because of that, he was mentally purified. Then after some time, his mother also passed away. So he felt he is free now to meditate upon the Lord. He went to the forest and meditated upon Bhagavan, chanting Bhagavan's name incessantly. Then, after a long time, he had a glimpse of Bhagavan's darshanam. And Narada was satisfied, but at the same time, he was very sorry that Bhagavan, you gave me only a glimpse of your vision. You did not even say, stay there so that I can offer my prostrations to you. He was lamenting and crying. That time Bhagavan said, you are not ready yet. Continue your tapas. And he continued his tapas. And next life, he was born to Brahmaji as Brahmaputra. And Bhagavan himself has given him the Veena. So this story, he himself narrated to Vyasa Bhagavan. So that is what he says. Among those celebrated sages, Narada is the foremost. And he charandis swairam khalu, move about freely indeed. Satata parinirbhata parachit sadanandadvaita prasara parimagna. Always immersed in the ever effulgent, non-dual supreme bliss consciousness. Kim aparam, what else is to be achieved? So, like Narada's example he gives, that he is ever immersed in Paramatma, Paramananda. He is always in that bliss. And what else is required? Nothing else is required for a human being. That is the highest fulfillment. So great sages like Narada are able to move about freely in the whole universe because they could, by the grace of the Lord, attain the mukti, brahmajnanam. Therefore, all their sufferings are destroyed. Now, does devotion have the power to destroy the afflictions that are born out of ignorance? Just as knowledge has. Now, Bhattadri clears this doubt in the next sloka and prays for devotion itself.
Bhavad bhakti spita bhavatu mama saiva prashamayet ashesha kleshaugham na khalu hridi sandeha kanika na chet vyasasyoktihi tava cha vachanam naikam vacho bhaven mithyaratya purusha vachana prayam akhilam.
Mama bhavat bhaktihi bhavatu fita. May my devotion to you grow more and more. Mama bhavat bhaktihi bhavatu fita. Become complete. Sa eva prashamayet. Sa, she, bhakti, devotion alone will eradicate, prashamayet, ashesha kleshaukham iti khalu. The entire multitude of my sufferings, iti khalu, about this indeed, na sandeha kanika hriti. There is not even an iota of doubt in my mind. Nachet uktihi vyasasya. If not, the saying of Vedavyasa, tava vachanam naikam avachaha cha. Not only Vedavyasa's vachanam, your words in Bhagavad Gita, Purushassa param partha bhaktya labhyastvananyaya. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan said that. Yasyandasthani bhutani yena sarvamidam tatam. Manmana bhava, madbhaktaha bhava, madhyaji mam, namaskuru. All these words Bhagavan said. So your words and Vedic statements Akhilam bhavet mithya. Everything will become untrue or false. Rathya purushavachana prayam, like the prattling of men in the street. So, if devotion cannot make one complete, full means moksha. Actually, moksha is the full, complete. Purnaha. Purna Purusha is Moksha Purusha. If devotion cannot make one complete, then Bhattadri says, Vyasa Vachanam, your words, Vedantic statement become false. Therefore, Bhakti eva gariyasi. Bhakti eva gariyasi. Continuing.
Bhavad bhaktistavat pramukhmadhura twadgunarasat kimapyarudha chet akhila paritapa prashamani punaschante swante vimala paribodhodayamilan mahanandadvaitam dishati kimatah prarthyamaparam.
He says devotion is sweet in the beginning and end also. Tavat bhavat bhaktihi, as devotion to you, pramukha mathura, it is sweetness indeed, even to begin with. Pramukha mathura, tot gunarasat, due to the delight in listening to and remembering your attributes. That's why you see in Vedantic class, very few people come. Upanishad class, if I am taking what you call Mandukya Upanishad or something, Taittiriya Upanishad itself is less. But Ramayana class, a lot of people come. And that also 1.5 hours class is not problem. Upanishad class, 45 minutes, 1 hour is too much. And Ramayanam, Bhagavatam class, because Katha Shravanam, people always forget themselves. The time concept is also forgotten. So that is the beauty of it. They take delight in listening and remembering your glories, your leelas. Arudha chet kimapi. Further, if it has progressed somewhat, akhila paritapa prashamani. It is the destroyer of all sufferings. That's why Gopikas in Gopika Geetam said, Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam. Your katha is the one that removes all tapas, tapatrayas. Adi bhautikam, adi devikam, adhyatmika tapas. It removes. Punaha cha ante dishati swante. Again at the end, it confers in one's mind, Vimala paribododaya milan mahanandatvaitam. The state of oneness with supreme bliss, combined with awakening of pure knowledge. Bhagavan in 10th chapter of Gita, Vibhuti Yoga, Bhagavan said, people who are devoted to Bhagavan, he will bless them with jnanam. Jnana deepena bhaswara. Bhagavan said, I will kindle the lamp of knowledge in the heart of my devotees. Now see that. So what is our duty? Be devoted to Bhagavan. You don't worry about jnanam. Jnanam Bhagavan will give you. You see, Samartha Ramadas, he chanted 13 crores time Ramanamam. Bhagavan Rama himself came and taught him. So don't worry about jnanam. Without jnanam, mukti is not possible. Vedanta says that. Upanishad says that. But here, Bhagavan says, be devoted to me. I will give you jnanam. And in Ramayana also, Tara, when she was so sorrowful when she was killed by Rama, at that time, Bhagavan gave her the knowledge. Bhagavan himself gave her the knowledge, mukti. And ataha kim aparam prarthyam, then what else is to be prayed for? So when Bhagavan himself is there to give you moksha, what else is there to ask? There is nothing more to ask. So devotion itself will give you jnanam. But you have to be a real devotee, okay? Kapata bhakti will not work. You have to be real. Continuing.
विधूय क्लेशान् मे कुरु चरणयुग्मं धृतरसं भवेत् क्षेत्रप्राप्तौ करमपि च ते पूजनविधौ भवन्मूर्त्यालोके नयनमथ ते पादतुलसी परिघ्राणे घ्राणं श्रवणमपि ते चारुचरिते.
Now, he says, make me perfect so that I can sing your glories. Vidhuya me kleshan, after removing my afflictions, kurume charana yukmam, make my pair of feet. Dhritarasam bhavat kshetra praptau. Take delight in reaching your temples. So why he want legs to be recovered, completely healthy? Because I want to walk and reach your temple. Karam apichate pujana vidhau. My hand is worshipping you. Paralysis means leg and hand both is paralyzed, you see. So hands also. For what? Performing puja and other activities. Atha nayanam bhavan murtya loke. Then the eyes in viewing your image, looking at your image of Bhagavan. Granam te pada tulasi parigrane. The faculty of smell in enjoying the fragrance of the tulasi leaves, adorning your feet. Guru Shravanam api charu charite te, and make the faculty of hearing too. Is listening to the charming stories about you. In fact, all our five senses should be engaged in the worship of Bhagavan. This reminds me of, there is another verse in Kulashekar Alvar's Mukundamala. Jihve kirtaya keshavam muraripu cheto bhajasridharam panidvanda samarchaya achyutakatha shrotradvayatvam shrinu. Krishnam lokaya lochanadvaya harer gacchangri-yukmalayam jigrakrana mukunda pada tulasim mudhan namatokshajam. He says, O tongue, chant Keshava. O mind, think of the enemy of Mura. O two hands, worship Sridhara. O ears, listen to the stories of Achyuta. O eyes, behold Krishna. O feet, walk to the temple of Hari. O no, smell the tulasi leaf from the feet of Mukunda. O hand, bow down before Lord Athokshaja. So all the senses should be engaged in worship of Bhagavan. Because all of them are functional because of his presence. Otherwise, none of them will be functional. So therefore, it is his blessings that we are healthy, we are able to move about. And that should be offered to Bhagavan as a prayer. Now, continuing.
प्रभूताधिव्याधिप्रसभचरिते मामकहृदि त्वदीयं तद्रूपं परमरसचिद्रूपमुदीयात् उदञ्चद्रोमाञ्चो गलितबहुहर्षाश्रुनिवहो यथा विस्मर्यासं दुरुपशमपीडा परिभवान्
Tatrupam tudiyam, tudiyam tatrupam. May the vision of that divine form of yours, Parama Rasa Chitrupam, supreme bliss, consciousness, incarnate, an embodiment of Satchit Ananda, Udiyat Tatha Mamaka Hriti, arise in such a manner in my mind. Prabhutadi Vyadi Prasamachalite, which is rocked by multitude of afflictions, mental and physical. So, when your mind is agitated, when your mind is suffering with the pain of physical body, at that time to think of Bhagavan's form is difficult. That is why he says, oh Lord, may I be able to remember that your form, beautiful form, who is none other than Satchidananda Sarupa. Yatha udanjat romanjaha, that with my body thrilled, with hair standing on end, Galita Bahu Harsha Shruti Shuni, Galita Bahu Harsha Shunivaha, and tears of joy gushing in abundance. These are the Lakshana of Bhakta. A Bhakta, when he enters the temple, he doesn't see the statue of Lord. What does he see? He sees Bhagavan himself standing there. When he have darshan of Lord, what happened? These are the Lakshanas, that his body become thrilled, with hair standing on end, tears of joy gushing in abundance. Aham vismaryasam, I shall be able to forget. Durupa shama pita paribhavan, the discomfiture caused by discomfort, caused by disease, which is difficult to cure. So, when my heart is filled with devotion for you, even though I am suffering physically, mentally, if your form is remembered in my mind, your beautiful form remembered in my mind, my whole body gets thrilled, and I romancham, my hair stand on end, tears of joy comes out of my pair of eyes, And I stand there in front of you, forgetting my sufferings. This is again Bhakta Lakshana. Oh Lord, this can happen only if intense devotion develops in my mind. Out of your grace, that devotion also comes to one's mind only with the grace of Bhagavan. So he says, it is not my ability, it is your blessing. That is called total surrender. Continuing.
मरुद्गेहाधीश त्वयि खलु पराञ्चोऽपि सुखिनो भवत्स्नेही सोऽहं सुबहु परितप्ये च किमिदम् अकीर्तिस्ते मा भूत् वरद गदभारं प्रशमयन् भवद्भक्तोत्तंसं झटिति कुरु मां कंसदमन.
He Marutgehadisha. Marutgehadisha means, O Lord Guruvayur, Guruvayurappa. Now Bhattadari is blackmailing Bhagavan. Here, looks like that. Even those who do not believe in you, you are blessing them. So what about we? I am completely devoted to you. Why don't you bless me? This is the idea here. Api paranjattoi. Even those who are indifferent to you. Sukhinaha khalu. Are seen very happy indeed. Those people who don't believe in God, etc., they seems to be very happy. Bhavasnehi saham. I am Bhavasnehi. I am your friend. I am devoted to you. That I am Paritappe Subahucha. I am suffering very much too. Kimidam he Varada. Why so? Why this contradiction? I am devoted to you 24 hours. I am thinking of you, worshipping you. Whereas those people who are indifferent to you seems to be more happy and healthy, walking around, enjoying their life. But how am I suffering like this? Ma bhut akirtihi te. What it says. Is it not ill fame for you? Your name is tarnished. See, your name is bad, getting bad. Because your devotee is suffering. People who are not devoted to you, they are enjoying. So is it not bad if your name? Mahut agirtihi te he kamsadamana, O slayer of Kamsa, prachamayan te gadaparam, removing the burden of my sickness. Kurumam bhavat bhaktottam samchaditi. Make me the foremost of your devotees soon. So Lord Guruvayur, even those who do not love you and have no faith in you are seen to be leading a happy life. If that is so with non-believers, what needs to be said of your devotees? But I am an ardent devotee of yours, having taken refuge in you with full faith and devotion. I've been suffering from endless afflictions. What an irony of fate. Is it not bad if you have good name? So you said, Ananya Chintayanto Mam Yejana Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogatshemam Mahamyaham. All these statements you made. Now what are you doing? You are making me suffer. Is it not bad for you? Okay, continuing.
किमुक्तैर्भूयोभिः तव हि करुणायावदुदीयात् अहं तावद्देव प्रहितविविधार्थप्रलपितः पुरः क्लृप्ते पादे वरद तव नेष्यामि दिवसान् यथा शक्तिव्यक्तं नतिनुति निषेवा विरचयन्.
Hey Deva, Kim Bhuyo Bihi Uktehe. O Lord, why lament upon my illness more and more with words? Finally, he must have felt bad that I am crying over my sickness. Why I am saying all these things unnecessarily? Hey Varada, O bestower of boons, Yavat, till such time, Tava Karunahi Udiyat Tavat. Until such time, your grace dawn upon me. Till then, Aham Prahita Vividhartha Pralapitaha. I, having given up all cries of distress, I am not going to cry over this. Until your grace fall upon me, I am not going to complain at all now. Neshyami divasan tava pade, shall spend my days at your lotus feet. Klipte puraha, conceived to be before me, installed as an image. So he says, I am going to sit and spend my time in front of you, O Guru Ayurappa. Virachayan nati nuti nishevaha. Doing services like prostration and singing praises. Vyaktam yatha shakti. Now think about his humility. Yatha shakti, he says. Best of my ability. Yuktam, with clarity, or to the best of my ability. I am going to sing your glory. So what is the use of lamenting my own fate with more and more words? All this will be futile if your grace does not descend upon me. Therefore, I shall give up all this complaining and crying and spend the rest of my life at the lotus feet of your image, installed in this temple of Guru Ayur, or even at those of your divine form, visualized by my inner self and enshrined in my heart. I shall do whatever little I can to worship you with prostration, singing your praise and repeating your countless name to the best of my abilities, awaiting your grace. Thus we conclude the third dasakam also. We can see the next fourth dasakam to seventh dasakam, 4 to 7. It is a summary of Skanda 2, Bhagavatam, Skanda 2, book 2 of Bhagavatam. In book 2 of Bhagavatam, the topic is sadhana, because Bhagavatam, every skanda has got one topic. The first skanda, Pradama skanda, is Adhikari skanda. The second skanda is sadhana skanda. In sadhana skanda, there are what the Shukamarshi is the one initiating Parikshit for the 3 type of meditation. Eka Rupa Dhyanam, Aneka Rupa Dhyanam, Nirguna Dhyanam. All the three levels of Dhyanam, he initiate him. And finally, he become qualified to listen to the Katha. The mind gains purity. Now that part, our Bhattadari is going to start with describing Ashtanga Yoga. So Ashtanga Yoga is the, what you call, Ashtanga, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Dharana, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So all the 8 limbs of yoga he is going to describe. So let us start one verse. I think we have 5 minutes.
Kalyatam mama kurushvatavatim kalyate bhavadupasanam yaya spashtamashta vidhayoga charyaya pushtaya shutava tushtimapnuyam.
Now, Kurusha mama tavatim kalyatam. Bestow on me the requisite health. Yaya bhavat upasanam kalyate, by which your worship could be performed. Spashtam aham apnuyam. Then I shall clearly win. Tava tushtim ashu pushtaya. Your grace very soon. By the perfect practice of Ashtavita Yoga Charyaya. Practice of the 8-fold yoga. Now what is yoga? Yoga means chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga. Controlling the activities of the mind. Chitta vritti nirodha yoga. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Our the Yoga Sutra talks about that. There are 8 steps. Sopanaha. Yama, Niyama, Asanam, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Yama means practice of moral disciplines. Yama. Ahimsa, Satyam, Asteyam means non-stealing. Asteyam. Brahmacharya means discipline at all levels. Aparigraha. Non-acceptance of anything from anybody. Aparigraha. This is Yama. Yama practice will purify the mind. The purity of the mind is not accomplished. One cannot master yoga. Hence it is the first and foremost accomplishment for any yogi. But the modern yoga, they forget yama, niyama. They take only asana, pranayama. Even pranayama is not taken that much seriously. Niyamas are those there. Shaucham, cleanliness. Santoshaha, contentment. Tapas, penance. Swadhyaya, study of scriptures. Ishvara pranidhanam, profound meditation focusing on God or surrendering to the Lord. These niyamas are the basic observances necessary for the successful completion of the advanced steps like dhyana, meditation, dharana, concentration, samadhi, absorption. Then comes asanam. Sthira sukham asanam. So even Bhagavatam also, Chukamarshi talks about that. Sukhasanam. Padmasanam is considered Pangajasanam or Padmasanam. Is considered very comfortable for all practice of meditation. Padmasanam. So asana practice will help you to sit quietly in one posture for a long time. Body become flexible. Otherwise, when you sit down, if your body is not cooperating, then your mind will be on the body, not on Bhagavan. So asana is very important. Then pranayama means breath control. So there are Puraka, Kumbhaka, Rechaka, etc. This, according to Yoga Shastra, the spinal column contains two nadis or nerve currents, Ida and Pingala. On the right, the Ida is on the left, Pingala is on the right side, and a central passage called Sushumna. In general, the Sushumna Nadi will be blocked in all those who have not gone through yogic exercises. Situated at the base of the spine, triangular in shape, is the center of consciousness called Mooladhara. Ganesha Bhagavan is Mooladhara Sthitaha, in which there is a huge reserve of spiritual energy known as Kundalini. Also sometimes referred to as serpent power. When the Sushumna Nadi opens out after repeated performance of pranayama, and in consequence, this power of Kundalini is also aroused. This power is said to travel up the spine through the centers of consciousness by name Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi, and Ajna, reaching the seventh center known as Sahasrara Padma, situated at the center of the brain. As it reaches the higher centers, it produces various degrees of spiritual enlightenment. There is, however, a harmless breathing exercise which may be used to calm the mind and prepare it for concentration. It's called Sukha Pranayama. So Yama Niyama Asana Pranayama Pratyahara Dharana Dhyana Samadhaya. Then Pratyahara is withdrawing the senses from the external objects and bringing them under perfect control of the mind. Is called Pratyahara. Indriya Japa, Pratyahara practice give you Indriya Jaya. That's why in Vaikuntha there is Jaya Vijaya. You say two Dwarapalas. What is that? One is Indriya Jaya, another is Mano Vijaya. Jaya Vijaya. One is conquer our mind, Another is conquer over senses. Pratyahara gives you that. Dharana means concentration. Bringing back the mind which has turned outward. Dhyanam is meditation. Then samadhi, absorption. When the mind with unbroken concentration performs only one function of focusing itself on the subject and stays without any support of its own power of meditation, it is called samadhi, complete absorption. These are the Ashtanga Yoga. So this is what Bhattadri is going to talk about it one by one. He will explain. This actually, dasakam is, fourth dasakam is not dasakam, actually it is there are 14 verses are there. We will see that next class. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.